So, over the course of time, lot of society, lot of people, the highest form of cruelty that has been meted out are from those that call themselves civilized. The more civilized you are, the more cruel you are to people that you consider as an inferior. My eye is itching me. Are you understanding what I'm saying? The more civilized you are, or you think you are, the more cruel you become to others that you consider as what? Inferior. Now, civilization are of different categories. The societal civilization and the religious civilization. Those which you consider an infidel. Those people, when we follow a particular religion, religion also carries itself in a certain dimension. When I mean dimension, what I mean here is it carries itself in a certain, in a certain way that it considers itself as better than other religion. And because it considers itself as better than other religion, it wants to conquer or civilize other religion. And history has proven this many ways. Let us do some little, exercise and explore into history. The nature of a man are of two. There are two types of man. The man that is naturally a forager, and the one that is naturally, he naturally likes to destroy. A forager and a destroyer. These are the two types of society, and these are the two types of humans, species we have, irrespective of their race. The forager society is the one that wants to go outside and, conquer others because they are a foraging society. They don't stay in one place. They want to go outside and conquer others and bring others to themselves. And then the destroying society is the one that wants to go outside, conquer, destroy, but does not add them to themselves. These are the two society and the two types of humans that we have existing. And this is inculcated into religion. It is very much inculcated into religion. For every religion you see is just wanting to do two things. It either wants to destroy the other one, or it wants to conquer the other one and bring it closer to itself. And that is why you will see in every religion you will have people that the religion sends out, go and preach to these people and bring them to us. For we know more better than them. Are you understanding? Are you following me? In every religion, in every society, go and see what is there in that place, conquer them and bring them closer to us. Now, why do you bring them closer? There are two things that makes a foraging society and two things that makes a destroying society. One is that a foraging society, for it to continue to thrive, it needs manpower, slavery. And that is the foundation of everything that we call civilization. For if there are no people to work, there cannot be prosperity. The civilization cannot prosper. If there are no people to work, if there are no people to do the slavery job, the civilization cannot conquer, cannot prosper, cannot thrive. And the easy way to bring in people is to conquer them. By calling it, we are trying to civilize them. There is a saying by Christopher Columbus. How many of you know Christopher Columbus? Do you know Christopher Columbus? Many of you know Christopher Columbus. Christopher Columbus, when he went to the Indies and he saw the Hindis and the way the Hindis were living their life. The Hindis, the way they were living their life is without stress. They thrive in their community. And thriving in their community, it is based on mutual respect of each other and not wanting to own anybody. And in thriving in their community, they were very humble and gentle. The first line of the diary of Christopher Columbus is that these are the most wonderful humans and the most wonderful people I have ever met that ever existed in the world. Are you understanding? That is the first line of Christopher Columbus' diary. And in along the diary that he wrote, he said, but with 50 armed men, these people can easily be conquered and subjugated. With what? 50. With 50 armed men, they can be conquered and subjugated, for they have no sense of direction. And when we conquer them, we can subjugate them and also now do what? Civilize them, for they have no moral code. Now, if you go down into history, when the Christian church sent down Christopher Columbus, because Christopher Columbus was sent by the Spanish kingdom. When it's sent down, it is recorded that the Indians were killed mercilessly. For what? For their gold. And anyone that was seen not giving gold was tortured. And what they did was that, it is said, it is there in history. The problem with many of us is that we don't read. And because we don't read, we easily follow what the narrative that we read, we hear on the television. We easily follow it. And we don't read, we don't try our own best to do some external, reading. Christopher Columbus and his men, it is said, the Indies called Christopher Columbus the stealer of oil. That is what the Indies called Christopher Columbus, he who comes to steal oil. But now you must understand that the oil that is being spoken about here is not crude oil, neither is it a natural resource oil. Christopher Columbus was called a thief that steals your oil because what? It is recorded that the men, the soldiers that followed Christopher Columbus, because they want to oil their knives and their sword, not so that it does not get rust, they will kill the Indies and boil them. Many of you don't know about this. But these are things you must understand that the civilized society did to the society it considered as not civilized. They will kill them and boil them to use the fat of their body so that they can continue oiling their gun and their knives and their swords. To the point that they even killed children. They rape the women. And the people could not fight. And that there makes you look at civilization. In as much as many of us will say, well, I'm proud, I'm in a civilized society. Many people have said that. Oh, I'm in a more civilized, if you are in a more civilized society, what is going to happen? What is happening in my country? Is it going to happen in a civilized society? Many of us have said that. Even you that is listening to the sound of my voice right now, you have also said that. If I'm in a civilized society, will any of this be happening? Oh, in a civilized society, people cannot do these things. But you must understand, a civilized society thrives on the bones of others that they consider as uncivilized. For the need to conquer them. A civilized religion thrives on the what? On the destruction of those that they consider uncivilized. And hence they create a lot of havoc. Lot of havoc. In history, whether you come to Ghana, you come to Nigeria, you go to any West African country, or any part in the world that you go to, it has always been known that those ones that are organized as what? As civilized are the ones that inflict the highest pain on people. And that is also the same thing with knowledge. The person that can instill the highest pain upon you is the one that is most intelligent, the one that knows a lot. And that is why Socrates said, who is better to give you sickness if not the doctor? Absolutely. Who can give you sickness and go unpunished if not the doctor? That is the truth. For you trust the doctor. Who can destroy your body without not being held accountable? But of course, the one that is the medical practitioner. Who can hide information from you if not the teacher? Is it not? Who can hide information of history for you if not the teacher? And that is why you must understand that in a civilized society, there is a motto. What is the motto? The motto is he who controls the past controls the present. He who controls the present controls the future. He who controls informations of the past controls the information of the present. And he who controls the information of the present controls the information of the future. And that is the reality of it all. That is the reality of it all. While many of us will feel that, no, even many of us that are very religious will be like, you know what, I'm a follower of this doctrine, I'm a follower of this doctrine. When you say you are a follower of this doctrine, anyone that does not follow your doctrine, you see them mentally as inferior to you. That is the truth. You see them as what? Inferior to you. Or if you say you don't see them as inferior to you, you will see them as they don't know what they are doing, but you know more better than them. If you are a Christian, you will see the Muslim as inferior to you. You will see the traditional worshippers as inferior to you. You will see the traditional worshippers as, ignorant. And they need to be what? Civilized. And how can they be civilized? By teaching them your own doctrine, your own philosophy. If you are a Muslim, you will see anyone that is not practicing the Islamic faith as inferior, infidel. And because they are inferior, infidel, they need to be what? Civilized in the right way. And if you are a Hindu, anyone that is not following the particular path of Hinduism that you're following, you see them as they don't know anything. They need to convert, to come to your own path, and hence they know something. And this is the danger of civilization. And that is why it says we are all civilized to death. Every one of us. We are civilized to death. For in civilization, do you do what? Do you create more harm to people? Do you create more problems to people than you can ever create for yourself? And when we go deeper into this conversation, then we look at, for a civilization to thrive, there is a need for there to be more children. You must understand it. For when there are more children, it means what? There are more manpower, people to work, people to do the laborer job, people to do the menial job. And when there are no people to do the menial job, the civilization collapse. And this is where you see that the abolition. See, many times a lot of people have spoken about, why is it that man is attracted to man or woman is attracted to woman? It is a taboo. It was not a taboo. It only became a taboo because when a man is attracted to another man and a woman is attracted to another woman, the ability to be able to procreate becomes zero. Are you understanding my point? Are you understanding? It became a taboo when civilization sees that it is a threat to the growth of its people. It is a what? A threat to what? To the growth of its people. For when a man and a woman come together, they produce children. But when a man and a man comes together, or a woman and a woman comes together, they cannot produce any child. And a society that is not able to produce becomes obsolete. And hence, to be able to make this, to be able to make this function properly, a strike of terror is needed. And that strike of terror began with religion, using religion as the means. Using what? Religion as the means. So when we look into civilization, we look into people, we look into the nature of human, we have a tendency that is naturally inside of us. And that tendency is to want to have control over other person. That is the tendency. Every one of us have that tendency to want to have control over other people. And we look for different means to be able to have this control. Either you want to make yourself more educated so that you can have more control to information, or you make yourself more powerful so that you can have control to certain things that others don't have. And that is why you must understand that poverty is a societal construct. It is not a universal construct. For in the universe, there is no poverty. You see yourself as poor because the society needs poor people. For when there is no poor people, the civilization cannot grow. It cannot. If you are comfortable and you are, if you are comfortable and you are unbothered by anything, and you are able to fend for yourself for the little that you need, you are able to fend for yourself, you will see that you are more happy. And that is how your ancestors lived. For there were abundance of fruits, there were abundance of vegetables, there were abundance of what they need. So what they do is go to the forest and take what they need and they eat. But civilization capitalized on that. For poor people is needed. When you feel that you cannot have for yourself, then the need for you to work so that you can, you can have becomes a means. And the more you are able to work, the more the economy of the civilization continues to grow. You must understand, a lot of people say, oh, I don't like poorness, I don't like poverty. And I've said it many times. There is nothing as poverty. There is nothing as poverty. Poverty is a construct of two things, religion and society. poverty is a construct of what? Two things: religion and society. And because it is a construct of religion and society, poor people are needed. They are very much needed. For the more poorer the people are, the more they are able to work. The more they are able to work, the more the economy of the civilization increases. And how do you make people to work? How do you make people to work? You make people work by making them give birth to more children. Are you understanding? Are you understanding? You make people to work by making them give birth to more children. For the more children they have, the more they become poor. For now, they start feeling that they don't have enough to take care of the children. And because they start feeling that they don't have enough to take care of the children, they need to work. Now, when they work, how do you now make sure that others become interested in working? You compensate a few of them. And how do you compensate a few of them? You give them the industrial value of their fee. So now we take that we need to go to school, we need to get educated. We need to get educated so that we can be what? A professional slave. And that is the thing. The highest threat to a civilization is a man that is free mentally, physically, and everything. That is the highest threat to a civilization. A man or a woman that is free is a threat to the growth of a civilization. And the best way to make sure that no one is free is to make sure that they keep going after an education. For if I can have this, then I can have the other thing. But there is no end to that which is the if. There is no end to it. Now, we look at everything. Let us look at everything in our life. The more educated you are, the more you become poor societally. Do you know that? Do you know that? Absolutely correct. The more educated you are, the more poorer you become societally. The more poorer you are going to see yourself as. And that is the truth. So you see, in a country like Nigeria, Nigeria is a very educated country. Many people don't know this, but it's a fact. Many of the Nigerians are all educated people. They have gone to the universities. They have degrees, master degrees, PhDs, and all of that. They have it all. But the poverty level is very high. Why? You see, many of the people that have billions of money in countries like in America, Europe, are not really educated. Many of them don't even have a PhD. Many of them don't have, a degree. An example is Ford. Alfred, I don't know if his name is Alfred Ford, but the man that started the Ford Motors. He was not an educated man. He never even go to school. Never. The highest school he went was maybe primary school. That is according to the standard. That is where he went. But the people that are working for him are all educated people. And hence, statistically saying, it says that the more educated you are, the more poorer you become. For that is the way the society needs you to be. In as much as you've been hearing, there's been so many conversations of, we need to do things to elevate poverty. We need to do things to elevate poverty elevation, poverty eradication. There can never be what is called poverty eradication. Poverty cannot be eradicated. Poverty cannot be eradicated because poverty is a societal industry. It is the industry that is fueling the society's economy. For without poverty, the economy of the society is not going to thrive. It will not. And that is why you will see that there are so much restrictions on people. Because what? You need to do things in accordance to what? To the society, so that the economy can continue to thrive. So now when you listen, to you that is listening to the sound of my voice right now, I want you to ask yourself a question. Are you being civilized to death? Or are you really awakening? Many of us say, oh, well, I'm an awakened person. I'm awakened. The question is, awakened to what? What are you really awakened to? If your if your interest, yes, Alfred Ford, thank you very much, Miss Tina Tomato. If your interest is still based on, I want to remove poverty. Oh, there's poverty in my family. My ancestors were poor people. I don't want to be a poor person. Oh, my ancestors were poor people. I don't want to be a poor person. You must understand, your ancestors were never poor. They were never poor. For they lived in accordance to the natural need, the way of nature. And because they lived in accordance to the way of nature, they were more peaceful than you that think that what? You are more civilized. They were more peaceful. They were able to sleep more peacefully than you that what? Is civilized. And that is the reality. They were able to go to bed more peacefully. They were able to do things more peacefully. So now, when we look at all of these things, then we question our reality. For the reality that you exist in, or that you are living in, is not about, oh, you are living in a multi-dimensional reality. Oh, you are living in a reality that is a different dimension. Your dimension is different. Your dimension is this. You need to come to your certain dimension. You are like this, you are like that. When you look at all of these things, then you even question that which you call spirituality. For that is the reality. You question that is called spirituality, because now spirituality is also based on what? Civilization. Spirituality is now based on what? Civilization. For you must understand, every form of spirituality is simply trying to civilize you to come to its own path and ignore the other path. Still the same gameplay. The cloth is different. The cloth is different, but the gameplay is the same. The cloth is different, but the gameplay is the same. Why did the Americans came to Nigeria, or the British came to Nigeria, or came to Africa to colonize? What is colonization? Colonization is basically just bringing the people to their path. For what? Slaves are needed. Civilization is what gives birth to slavery. Slavery was not a thing that was practiced by your ancestors. Slavery was not born in the human society. It was born in a civilized society. For the more civilized you are, the more cruel you are to other people. Take a look at how you treat animals. Why do you see an animal and you want to kill it? Because you believe that it is inferior to you. And that is the point. That is what civilization do to you. The corruption in the society, or the corruption in the world, is not from the universe. The universe is never corrupted. The corruption that you see in the world is based on what? When you thinking that you are more civilized than others. So it is easy to kill the animal. It is easy to eat the animal. It is easy to be cruel to the animal, for you believe that because I'm civilized, so I have the right. And that is the impetus that civilization brings to everybody. For the more civilized you think you are of other person, the more you want to become cruel to them. The same thing with race. Why do one people, why does one race think that they are better than another race? Like right now, many of you live in America, many of you live in the UK, many of you live in India, many of you live in Mauritius, many of you live in different countries. You will see that, and many of you have encountered racism, isn't it? Racism is born from what? Civilization. When you think that you are more better than others, it is easy for you to look down upon them. And that is the thing about civilization. That is it about civilization. When you think you are more better than other people, it is easy for you to look down upon them. And that is just it. So, what is the problem in the world? The world has no problem. The problem in the world is the industry of civilization. And it will continue. There is no, when is it going to stop? It is not going to stop. It is going to continue. The problem is, you see, in disguise to run away from the cruelty of civilization, we look for what? Heaven. We look for heaven. For heaven gives us this utopia idea, this imagination that I'm just going to be free from the colonization of people. There was a long time ago, I wrote a post, and I says, while it is easy for us to run away from terrorists, it is very easy. We run away from terrorists because they bring destruction. But it is difficult to run away from mental terrorists. Of all the terrorists that is most dangerous, the terrorist that is the one that is mental terrorist is far more dangerous. And that is what you find everywhere. In your religion, the people you meet in your religion, most of them are just mental terrorists. That is the reality. The radicalization of your thought is not because you started thinking for yourself. It's because you were dumped. An idea was pumped into you and you start building on that idea. And that is just it. That is just it. So yeah, many of us, we are civilized to death. We are all civilized to death. For in the point of looking for the solidarity of our society, we become cruel. We become, how do you call it in English? When you cannot tolerate other people, there's an English word for it. You cannot live with other people. You cannot tolerate other people. We become intolerant, to other people. Same as the animals, the trees, and everything. We become intolerant. So then comes the question, where does civilization begin? Civilization started with the narration of the Bible. For if you look back into the beginning, the Bible is an allegory, which means everything in the Bible is not a fact. But let me just indulge you. Let me indulge you, which means let us, pick a fun at it. When Adam was in the Garden of Eden, it was said that Adam was free. Is it not? He was able to eat whatever he wants to eat. He didn't work for what he wants to eat. He just eat fruit. Adam, it was never written that Adam was eating meat. in the Garden of Eden? Please, can you point, one place for me that it was said that in the Garden of Eden, Adam was eating meat? There's no place. It was just said he was happy eating, whatever he wants to eat. There's abundance of fruit, abundance of everything for him. He was just eating. But when Adam came out of the Garden of Eden, that is the beginning of civilization. So civilization started with you being aware that you are better than other people. The day you wake up and you look at another person and see or think that you are better than them, that day you have started to become cruel. The day you walk on the street and you look at other people and say and think in your head, you are more dressed, your dressing is more better than others, that day you have started becoming a cruel person. Whether you act on it or you did not act on it, you've just started. That's just it. The more knowledgeable you think you are of a particular subject and others don't know it better than you, that day your cruelty have started. That day. So now when people say, I'm awakened, the day you say you're an awakened person, that day you have already started becoming even a more cruel person. For at that point, you will start distinguishing that this one is not awakened, this one is awakened. I know better than this one. This one does not know anything. That day. Am I making sense to you guys? All right, I'm going to stop here so that I can do some reading. I don't have much time, so thank you very much. I'll be going to Ghana. I'll be in Ghana, hopefully. Fingers crossed. I'll be in Ghana tomorrow. And if you're in Ghana, please do come and meet us. We'll be happy to see you. I'll be in Ghana for some weeks. If you're there, please do come. We'll be happy. And to many of you that are listening to me, this is recorded live on Facebook for you to go back and listen to. And don't forget to leave a comment. And also don't forget to give a gift to us on Facebook. Don't forget. Don't forget. Give a gift to us also. Why are you being stingy? Don't be a stingy person. Don't be a stingy person. Thank you. Ciao.